Hey, Jamie, have you ever wanted to go to an English class, but like for films?
Like a film class?
What? No, you're not getting it. My thing is different. So my idea for our next podcast is you take two different but similar movies and do a comparative analysis for them and talk about all the similarities, like Barbie and Elf.
Oh, or like Hook and Jumanji.
Right, or Friends with Benefits and No Strings Attached.
Well, that's just the same movie. Oh, we could call it They're the Same Picture.
Movie. Oh, yeah, They're the Same Picture is better.
Like that meme.
No, yeah, I got it.
They're the Same Picture is releasing a new episode on the last Saturday of every month. Find us wherever you get your podcasts. With me, your resident movie lover, Jamie.
And me, your resident English major, Chantel. And follow us at Same Picture Pod on Instagram and Blue Sky.
Roll credits.
All right, Ben, but for real, before we just dive right in, we do have to talk about the game, Ben. We did it. We went to 3 Super Bowls in a row. That is the three-peat. It was successfully accomplished. You're welcome. And then, you know what we did? We did what Hulk Hogan never did, and we laid down the biggest show of the year. We finally handed the torch off to someone else. And if you don't believe me, how many times did Patrick Mahomes throw the ball directly to the Eagles, right?
I was going to say, you could have made it look a little harder.
Yeah. You know, he's still learning the fine craft of throwing a game and making it look like it was not intentional. But that's what he did, you know? That's why he is the true GOAT, because did Tom Brady ever give the rub to anyone? No. He just kept playing until his life fell apart and his wife divorced him. But now we've got Patrick Mahomes, three-peat. We did it, Ben. And now, on that happy note, we're going to talk about something that is very near and dear to every football player's hearts. The Sonic the Hedgehog comic. Huge overlap between those two demographics. It's Words About Books. I'm Nate. You're Ben.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. When I was a child, like in grade school, I think I watched the Sonic the Hedgehog Saturday morning cartoon.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you were able to pass a football successfully to the person you were throwing it at. No, I get what you're saying. We're going on to Sonic now.
Well, it's hard to make it spiral. He's still working on it.
That's why you got to get one of those Nerf footballs with the fin on the back.
It's also hard to throw it straight when the opposing team's line leaps over yours and just smashes you every single time.
Over and over.
I live pretty close to Philly, well, relatively close to Philly. And I was sitting there with a Philly fan, and even he was like, "Oh, this is hard to watch." Yeah. And Philly fans boo Santa Claus. They booed Taylor Swift. They'll boo anyone.
Oh my god.
Yeah, if you're eliciting empathy from a Philly fan, you're in a tough spot.
Yeah, again, I don't know much about football, but from everything I read about
neither
Philly
does Patrick
fans.
Oh,
got him.
Okay. No, so I think I watched the Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon when I was a kid. I think I probably bought a couple issues of like the Archie Comics Sonic. Is this the new Archie Comics?
No, I was wondering that exact same thing, Ben, because I used to have a bunch of the Archie comics. I also watched Sat AM, which is based on the Archie comics. This is not that. I think because the Archie comics finally ended in like, I want to say 2018. Hold on, let me.
Wow.
2017, it looks like.
Why?
Yeah, it went on for a long time.
Why did it end then?
Why did it end then? I
was
think
gonna
because no
say-
one was buying it anymore.
But they're buying this?
That's a good question.
Who wrote
That-
this? It was the same. Was it the same illustrator and writer?
Oh, and also looks like it was Ian Flynn worked on the other ones. He wasn't the only one though. It looks like there were legal difficulties with some of its former artists. I think Ken Penders, I think that's his name. I think he was the guy. He was the weird guy who kept drawing echidnas as like his thing, and he spun off his own. And now he has a
Every
comic.
Sonic artist. No offense.
Yeah.
Offense.
Yeah, he's just the most prominent one who also is.
Isn't Ian Flynn an
Really?
Archie Comics guy though? But I guess this is.
Was. I don't think this was. This wasn't Archie though.
No, I guess this is IDW. That's interesting.
I don't know what IDW is.
IDW is a comic book publisher.
Intellectual Dark Web. Perfect.
No, it's Idea and Design Works.
Oh,
They
it's
publish.
probably better that way.
I think they do like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and a couple other things. You're going into like the
I thought
the
that was
deep.
Dark Horse.
No, I don't think so. I could be wrong about.
You're
that,
right.
but
Debuting in 2011. I think
maybe I don't know
Teenage
who
Mutant
had.
Ninja Turtles started in Dark Horse
Could be.
before it was cool.
IDW picks up a lot of the TV show comics. Like I think IDW. No, Boom was doing Power Rangers.
But what the hell is this? Because this isn't based on a TV show, Ben.
I don't know, dude.
So Sonic canon has always been a nightmare because they had a different canon for America, Japan, and Europe all going at the same time in the 90s. There was the Fleetway comic in Europe. There were also two different cartoon shows, both voiced by Steve Urkel, I'm pretty sure, that went at the same time in America.
I watched the one with Sally.
Yes, that's the one based off. Yes, they were terrorists based off of the Archie comics. But there's also the one with the chicken and Grounder and Coconut the monkey, and Robotnik was like dumb and a big round fat guy who constantly was falling and rolling over.
All right, I need you to explain something to me. As apparently the Sonic lore master of this podcast. What are Robotnik and Eggman different people?
No, they're not.
Is
Unless
this a King Koopa Bowser situation.
Depends. So he was called Eggman, I think, in Japan, and he was called Robotnik over here. And then around the Dreamcast era with Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, they tried to like collect all the lore, I think, and make it consistent, which was a terrible idea because it was so inconsistent because they were now hanging around with people. And so they just called him Doctor Eggman.
I wondered why there were people.
In Archie Comics, apparently Robotnik dies, and then a robotic version of him exists, and then as his body is going to die or explode or whatever, and he uploads himself into the Dr. Eggman.
You ever see what are the gritty reboots of the Archie comics? The like Riverdale and the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
I've heard some great things about Riverdale just being like
Riverdale
like someone...
is the fever dream of a madman.
Yes, that is what I heard. He described all these twists. It was like, wouldn't that be an interesting season of TV? Well, guess what? That happened in one episode. I was like, oh my god.
Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, amazing comic. It just fell off. The comic was actually really good. We don't talk about comic books a lot on Words About Books, but I know.
This is a Patreon voted episode.
You wasted your vote again, spoilers, but
It was overwhelming too.
yeah. But no, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina was awesome. The Netflix show did not adapt much of the comic at all and just kind of did its own thing. That guy has a real problem. Like, that showrunner, he just can't stick to what works. But where I was going with this was I would like a Riverdale style reboot of
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, where girl Sonic is 16 and owns like a whiskey distillery, because that's a thing in Riverdale. She inherits her family's like alcohol production company or something. Veronica of Betty and Veronica is a bootlegger or something. I don't know. Anyway, I want to see that. I want to see that with Sonic the Hedgehog. I want Tails to get shot. And he has a long road to recovery, and it's really depressing.
That'd be perfect, I guess. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. There's also Sonic Underground, where they had a band and he had a brother and a sister. And they had magical musical instruments, and it was bad.
Is that from that period? No. There was a period of time where every cartoon group formed a band.
This was in 99. So I think they missed the boat on that one.
Yeah.
Sonic X, which I think is based on the adventure games, and Sonic Boom, which is based on Sonic Boom, which was it's an alternate reality, even though Sonic has no canon, Ben.
So Sonic the Hedgehog sucks, right?
Yeah.
Like, we can all agree on that. Like, they
haven't had some of the games, but
like within the last 20 years.
Yeah, Sonic Mania.
Isn't that just like a ROM hack of the old Sonics?
No, that was a legitimate game.
But it's like a side-scrolling 2D?
Yes. Because that's how he works.
Yeah. I think we're in agreement then.
When you try to turn him into a werewolf and have him do God of War style fighting, it doesn't work. When you try to have a shadow run around with a gun and say, damn.
Well, and don't they wind up hiring like game studios that are actually just like 3 toddlers in a trench coat or something?
Might as well.
Because they never work either.
What the hell is Sonic Prime? There's apparently another Sonic show called Sonic, and it's on Netflix?
Oh, God. The Netflix Castlevania Sonic.
I mean, I would watch that. Sonic arrives in New York City.
Oh, God. Is that like because he's Eggman?
Because he's Eggman.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
No, this one I think is... I did not get it until maybe issue 4 or whatever, when Sonic is like, yeah, I was kidnapped by Eggman, but then I was busted out. That, I believe, is Sonic Forces, a game that is not good.
I had no idea what was going on, and I didn't know any of the characters.
Sonic is kidnapped and tortured for like a year off screen, and then you get to make your own OC in the game and rescue him. And I've never played it. All right, maybe it's secretly awesome, but it doesn't look good.
I'm looking forward to the YouTube comments on this. Can I say another thing that's just going to piss everybody off? Sonic is hideous.
You told me about his big giant eye.
I hate that he has one eye with 2 pupils. I know that's like a stylistic thing. I know he's supposed to have 2 eyes. It's disgusting. I don't like the weird furry, not a hedgehog. Like, what the hell is he? That's not what a hedgehog looks like. That's not even like Bugs Bunny is at least discernibly a rabbit, you know? If you look at Knuckles,
that's not here. Hold on. Hedgehog.
Tails looks like a fox. Okay, I'll give you that. Tails looks like a fox. If you look at a picture of an echidna and then you look at Knuckles, And why are they all weird, like vermin creatures? But then there's also like sheep.
Are there sheep?
There were definitely sheep in this.
Wow. I was not paying attention. Yeah, why doesn't Knuckles have a gigantic, hideous, little, like, needle dick nose?
Yeah, there's nothing. So I've never got that. I'm sure somebody else has talked about that, but I don't understand that. And then the art style, it's just bad. I don't know. It's just a bad style, and people love it, and they're wrong.
Yeah, we'll say that to all of DeviantArt, Ben.
That's kind of who I'm talking to. Like, it's a gateway to, like, you know how you said like the first Sonic artist was famous for just doing Sonic porn? I feel like that's where a lot of this just inevitably leads.
Ken Penders.
Whatever. And now that said, I will give the artist this. Obviously a competent artist. If you did happen to like that gross Sonic art, this is a decent enough version of that, I guess. So it has that going for it. I think the colors were vibrant. We're nearing the end of the positive things I have to say.
There's Ken Penders.
Oh God, let me see.
And there's his original Do Not Steal.
Is this a joke?
No, this is real, Ben.
A real person
That's
really drew
real.
this? Okay, this is actually like borderline incompetent.
I don't know if borderline is where I'd go with that.
Okay. Well, this new artist is better. I'll give him that. Whatever that is horrible. Like, even by pornographic cartoon standards, that's pretty bad. I mean, just from like a skill standpoint.
That hurts.
Do people look at that and they're like, that really revs my engine?
I can't imagine. They're too human.
God,
looking.
I like the cowboy hat. There was a dude I knew who used to draw stuff like this in high school, and he went to jail. I'm not joking.
And that's where it always ends up.
That cowboy thing I'm looking at, that cowboy echidna, looks exactly like what that kid used to draw.
Maybe he knew.
I'm sure he knew.
Is that Mike Tyson in a spacesuit? What is that? Who is that? It looks like the Mike Tyson Adventures or Mike Tyson Mysteries or whatever it was called.
Beat the shit out of Chupacabra, the only thing I've never beaten the shit out of yet.
Chupacabra is a really tough word for him.
This looks like one of those crappy photoshopped self-published book covers, but it's all hand-drawn. And it's just so sad. Anyway, this is gonna be a tough episode for me, man.
Hey, if it helps, we can talk about the story, Ben. The story.
Can we?
I took notes, Ben.
On what? Here's the story. Can I tell you? Can I give you the summary as I understand it?
Yes, please.
Okay.
We can probably just pack it in early and.
Yeah, here's the summary of the story of this comic as I understood it. I only read one volume.
This is for people who don't like the longer episodes of Words About Books and just want a short thing they can listen to on their lunch break.
Okay. So, first I'll say, very clearly not for me. Very clearly for somebody who already knows all of these characters. This is obviously between some property.
Yes.
I
think
gathered
this takes
that
place after Sonic Forces? Question mark.
So if you know what Sonic Forces is, which I do not, that might help you. So from my perspective, Eggman has vanished, but his army of robot thugs is still terrorizing settlements of weird animal people.
Yeah, they just have a bunch of like cities just hanging
And-
out.
and they have militias and stuff, and Sonic's leading he's like some kind of folk hero or something.
He's just a cool adventuring dude, Ben.
And
that-
Sonic has a cool fight, and then Tails shows up. And then Sonic has a cool fight, and then Girl Sonic shows up.
Yeah.
And then she's thirsty. She's real thirsty for Sonic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's funny. Is that supposed to be, is that a joke? Is that like a gag they do? This girl hedgehog is always trying to get with him, and he just like really doesn't seem interested.
Yes. That has been going on since at least the year 2000 with Sonic Adventure, when she started having voice lines.
I could not even fathom hearing that thing speak. Now, the one thing I will say is, while she cannot motivate Sonic with her body, she can motivate him with chili dogs, which I do remember from the cartoon being a thing.
That
So
is
much
apparently
so
still canon.
that as a child, I was like, I want to try a chili dog because Sonic makes them sound really good, and they're not. They're not.
My brother had it made to look exactly like the chili dog from the Sonic cartoon, with a little tiny pickle sliver right on top.
Yeah, I can't make fun of him. I probably would have done something like that. But then I tried. I'm not a big chili guy. So that's also working against Sonic in this case. I'm also kind of wondering about like the logistics of the chili dog in this recovering world like post-apocalyptic world terrorized by robots. How they're getting the ingredients for
That
a chili
is how you
hot
measure
dog?
recovery. That's how they measured. Like, all right, after the war with Germany, when can I get the first chili dog? And that's how we knew. All right, we've now crossed the threshold. We're now on the recovery side of things, because I was able to get a chili dog.
Are you using the right mic?
I hope so. Doesn't sound like it.
No.
No, sure not.
Are you not?
I am not. No, I'm tapping it over here. It did not default to the correct mic.
Do you want to rejoin?
Yeah, let's rejoin. But we're not redoing it. You know, this is Sonic.
No, we'll just cut back in. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Do I leave, or do you?
Actually,
stop
you should just be able to
recording?
switch your mic in the.
I can't when the recording is in progress.
Damn it, Ben. I was using the wrong mic, and this is going to be the one episode that goes viral, and it's going to make us look really terrible.
That's okay. You barely missed anything. So Sonic eats a chili dog. The girl hedgehog can't seduce him, but she can give him a chili dog, and
Like a
that's
Scooby snack.
Yeah, it's like a Scooby snack. And for our younger listeners, that was the thing they used to motivate the Great Dane Scooby Dooby Doo in the cartoon Scooby Doo.
Scooby Doo might be more culturally relevant than Sonic the Hedgehog.
God, I hope so.
I'm pretty sure that he is.
So
He was president of Cartoon Network, Ben.
What?
That was a thing.
I don't remember
As a
that.
kid, you could vote for who would be the president, and Scooby won. Anyway,
Man, why wasn't he on the ballot in 2024? I would love to have Scooby Doo as a president right now. Okay. So then Sonic goes somewhere else, and he fights some robots, and he runs into Knuckles, and he and Knuckles have this like super cringy buddy cop action movie thing where they beat up two. I think there's like a skunk and a wolf, and it's just so sad.
Yeah, the rough and tumble.
Sure.
And they keep laughing every time they say their name.
And then they effortlessly defeat them.
It was pretty effortless.
There's a sheep in that scene, I think. A sheep is one of
and they have wispins, Ben. They're like weapons, but with wisps.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was.
I think that's from Sonic Colors. Again, I haven't played that game either. So
I've never even heard of that. So then Sonic goes somewhere else, and he runs into a lemur. Is that what that thing was?
Yeah. It uses its tail as a weapon.
And then there's another lemur that has an awakened third eye and shoots fireballs.
That's supposed to be a cat.
Okay, how do you know?
So Blaze the cat was in a BioWare Sonic RPG and then retconned to be from the future in the terrible Sonic 06. And then is just, I guess, just chilling out, or maybe from another reality. I don't fucking know. But yes, Blaze the cat. I didn't even write that down. Until you mentioned it, I did not even remember she was in here.
And then Eggman, it's like a children's book. It's like, where is Dr. Eggman? Is he here? No, only Tails is here. Is he here? No, only Girl Hedgehog is here. I don't even know her name.
Amy.
Amy. And is he here? No, it's Sonic's best friend Knuckles. Is he here? No, it's this. I think she said she's a lemur, but like I was struggling with that one. I was like, boy.
Was that a girl? I thought that was a boy lemur and a girl cat.
How can you know?
I don't know, Ben.
And then I don't know how people like this style. So then is Dr. Eggman there? No, wait. Somebody's behind the window blinds. It's Dr. Eggman.
I don't appreciate his weird smile when he says he's gonna get that kid. I would appreciate if you didn't get any kids, please.
Is Sonic a child?
I always thought he was an edgy teen, but I think he's supposed to be an adult? Question mark.
How many years have passed for Sonic?
Well, if you keep retconning him, then he's whatever you want him to be.
This franchise is a train wreck. You people know that, right? Like, what I'm saying can't be controversial.
It is in certain circles.
But they keep making this stuff. If you had told me we were reading the original Archie thing...
I was looking for it, but then I saw this instead and was like, I wonder what this is. I'll put it on the poll.
So I tried to look this up. And what I found was, you know what? IDW, I was looking at my notes. IDW is actually a fairly new company. They could not have published Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But they publish it now. No, so I tried to look into some of the artists. I think there's different illustrators for like the other books in the series. This Ian Flynn guy, I guess he writes some of the games.
What?
I don't know.
Is that real?
Maybe.
There's no way that these games have a writer. Hold on. Oh my god, he might actually be writing games. Oh my god, he wrote a ton of games.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought.
Oh my god. This has a writer? I
So
can't fathom that. There's a TV miniseries called Sonic Rebound?
so
What is this?
when
Tails Tube?
when I went to see Nosferatu, Sonic the movie 3, which I didn't know there was a 2, was playing in the theater that was supposed to play Nosferatu. And we had to wait for that to end to go in. And all these people came out and they were so happy. Like they were all just talking about what a great time they had just had in Sonic 3. And I was like, have you seen any of those movies?
No.
I have not. I haven't seen a single one.
Oh, apparently Tangle the Lemur has a comic book with Whisper the Wolf, and that's a miniseries. And also, no, I haven't watched any of the movies.
From the way those people were talking, I was like, maybe Sonic's good. I don't know.
I am curious. I have to admit, I'm curious.
I think it would have to be better in whatever this is.
Yeah, because that, I assume, has a story. That isn't just Sonic goes from one settlement to the next, running into all of his old friends, and they're rebuilding a society that was under Doctor Eggman. And, like, I don't know, it's strange when you start talking about, like, construction projects and logistics for Sonic, right? Like, that's not... Like, that's strange, right? That's not just me?
Well, I'm like, why are they all different species? How does this work?
They're all animals. That's just one species, Ben. I think there was a distinction in the Archie comics between animal and human. And I think all the humans went extinct in some war.
Okay, do the fox people eat the rabbit people?
No. Hey, it's Ed or Nate, and I do want to point out that animals living amongst each other and not eating each other is kind of a conceit of a lot of different stories and settings, so I'll admit that this is a little bit of a bad faith argument. And they eat chili dogs, and you might think, where do the chili dogs come from? And the answer is, don't think about it.
It's Pokemon rules. They're just food.
There's
you go.
Food
on the table.
There's just food.
All the animals are lovable, adorable, sentient creatures, but there's also meat. Even the plants, though, are lovable, adorable, sentient creatures.
Don't think about it.
Yeah.
BoJack Horseman did that. They had a chicken that behaved like a normal chicken. And they made a distinction that it's not a chicken like you and me, but it's like a chicken for food. Don't think about the implications on, like, we're eating members of society, right?
Somehow
like
somehow Beware of Chicken like actually covered this in a much better way. Like,
yeah, but that didn't have visuals, did it, Ben?
No,
did it?
Guess not. No,
okay.
I don't think there's a comic.
There you go. Maybe we should get Ian Flynn to draw for Beware of Chicken instead.
Maybe. So yeah, I had no idea what was going on.
I didn't have any idea what was going on until, like I said, the 4th issue, when they're like, "Oh yeah, I was in prison, but then I got busted out," and I was like, "Oh, this takes place after a game." Okay.
I just like...
And then it ended before any significant plot development happened at all, because all 4 of these issues were just him running into new friends. Or by new friends, I mean old friends.
I kept trying to so I couldn't find a lot of reviews specifically about this comic, but what I found was that apparently in the Sonic community, this Ian Flynn guy is. There's people
Comic
that just
book Jesus.
no, they just like some people just hate him,
Oh,
and I tried to figure out like, did he do something? Was there any like, what's the contra?
He didn't like my OC. It's Sonic, but he's red
They
with black eyeliner.
no, what I saw was people they just don't like his writing. I guess
It's Sonic.
that was kind of my thing.
Have you seen the writing for Sonic? We got Ken Penders over here.
They were saying that he.
We need to return to the good old days when Sonic had a brother and a sister, and they had magical instruments, and they jammed out to defeat Robotnik. And Sonic's sister met Knuckles, and I think they had the hots for each other, but then the series was canceled.
I can't imagine why.
And then Sonic was like a prince or something because their mom was the queen, and the queen had to go into hiding or something, and they needed to find her. And the
children had to start a band. What?
Yes, they were given those instruments, Ben. I think his brother was named Manic, and he was raised by the Hood, Ben.
No, please
they kidnapped him as a baby. She left the baby on the doorstep of like an affluent, like rich whatever, like they did with his sister. But then some street thugs kidnapped him for some reason and raised him as their own, Ben.
Boy.
And I think only Sonic had super speed in that, so his siblings were kind of like, why are you even here?
Why?
But they still had Uncle Chuck from the Archie Comics, Ben. That was still canon.
Oh my god.
But Tails didn't exist. Now that I think about it, I think only Knuckles was there.
They just couldn't get the rights to Tails.
The rights? Can you fucking imagine?
Sega sells it by the character.
Ken Penders did take his original characters from Archie Comics, like that skunk that you saw in that artwork that I sent you. Although at the time he didn't have a really uncanny, unnatural human-looking face for some reason.
I'm looking at that picture still.
Look at him in the background. You see him with his little beret.
It's
so bizarre looking, right? It's like you're not quite enough of an animal, but you're not like a person. So like, what is this?
It's not just that. It's
is this can't be real, right? Look at the floating island. It looks like someone just like cut out a photograph and just stuck it.
That's what I'm saying. Like the effects,
real, right?
And like the little like what do you call it? Like the transparency on Indiana Knuckles there.
Indiana Knuckles. I was gonna say Old Man Knuckles, but I like yours better.
Honestly, that's what we should have read. Because
I do not want to get sued by Ken Penders, because I bet he would sue us for our opinion on his book.
That man you showed me can't still be alive.
No, he still is. That's his final form.
See, I think there's something to dissect in that. With this, there's just, there's
nothing. Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I'm wondering. I thought about
reading a second volume, but then I was like, why bother?
Here's what I'm wondering. Target demographic.
Sonic fans.
Age demographic.
School age?
People go to school for a lot of years.
Like elementary, maybe real early middle.
Okay, I can kind of get behind that. So the interesting thing, I will say, in the writer's defense, the one thing I saw somebody really going at him for was like, the dialogue is so unbelievable. Like, this character would never say this thing.
What?
And I was
The
like,
dialogue was...
people say... I'm going to get in so much trouble with this. People say touch grass. And like, I'm not a fan of like little like insults like that, but man, do you guys not? You got to step outside this world you've put yourself in. You got to get out of that box. You got to get out of that box and just look back at what you've left behind and see if this is worth.
Yeah, I
taking
saw
the
the
time to type
dialogue
up.
and I thought, yeah, this seems like what I would imagine for Sonic because
It seemed like the old Archie comics in terms
Yeah.
of dialogue.
yeah, for better or for worse, it seems like it was straight out of the 1990s for
Yeah.
children in the 1990s.
Yeah, so that's my thing. Like, it seems like it's for young children. And if it's for young children, then the thing I described of, is Dr. Eggman here? No, he's not here, but he met Amy. And is he here? No, but he met Knuckles. Like, if it's for children, then okay, that works, I guess. I guess if it's for children who are like diehard Sonic the Hedgehog fans. Can I ask you a second question? Are the Sonic the
Okay.
Hedgehog games for young children?
I think
Is Sonic
so?
what did you say? Sonic X?
Sonic X was
What's the one
Adventure in
this
1
follows?
and 2. This follows Sonic Frontiers.
Is Sonic Frontiers for little kids?
I understand that Sonic is kidnapped and then tortured off screen, but then they just act like he's totally cool, and we never address that as maybe that sounds like it's
that's
for
not
kids.
crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, if like 4th grade, like. So if that's the case, then I'll be a little less hard on this. What are your thoughts? You have my thoughts.
My thoughts were, I was thinking of maybe reading another volume to see what the hell I could even talk about story-wise, because literally nothing happens in all of these issues. And I have to wonder if anything would happen, but also I kind of think no. I guess we'll find Eggman in issue 2, and whoever is behind the chair that is making all of the robots more coordinated. Did he steal Edenverse, Ben? It seems like he stole from Edenverse. Our original idea where we had a bunch of settlements that were attacked by monsters, but this time it's robots, and now suddenly they're being more coordinated. What's going on there, Ben?
I feel like maybe he just tapped into
the ether.
easiest plot.
The ether, Ben. He tapped into the ether.
Yeah. I would not. I did not purchase this. I happen to have Comixology or something already, so I just got it on that.
Yeah, me too.
I guess
I
it's
don't know
included with your Prime now or something.
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So I would not have bought this if it were in the store. I would not have added this to my box.
Your comic pull. I need you to
yeah.
pull every time a new Sonic issue comes in. I need it in my box.
Yeah. I got to imagine this is only for somebody who is interested in like the novelty of having a Sonic comic book. Like I know there
But
are
why
certain.
wouldn't you just go and get the Archie ones then?
Well, maybe so. I think the art in the Archie ones is a little dated. I do think if you're into the Sonic style, I do think this looks better. It's a lot more visually interesting. Like I don't think there's anything. This is a personal preference. I do not like the art, but there's from a technical standpoint, there's nothing wrong with it, and there's actually a decent amount right with it. Though Sonic does always look a little different, and I don't know. That's the thing with every Sonic. Like
He
sometimes
got
he's
green
all,
eyes at some point. They used to be
some
black eyes, Ben.
well, sometimes he's all like sharp edges, and sometimes he's all like soft and round, and I don't really know what they're going for with him.
I don't know what that thing is that I sent you that I clipped from that original image. But I decided to zoom in over there and I saw this and went, what the hell is that?
That's offensive.
Oh boy.
Like these echidnas. Now this is not from. I guess if you're watching it on YouTube, I'll show you the picture we're looking at. The picture we're talking about is not the Sonic comic we read, and I guess that's the problem with this. It's just so bland. I mean, this comic is just content.
Yeah.
And there's just not a lot there. There's not even a lot to make fun of on it, because most of the criticisms I've given thus far are criticisms of just Sonic the Hedgehog in general, which I assume is what people wanted when they voted for this episode. I assume they just wanted to hear an old man who should know more about Sonic the Hedgehog. That I don't know. I don't know what Sonic has become. I don't know what people wanted from this.
I assumed they thought that we would read a comic that had some substance to it. That was not this.
So what do you envision? Like, I guess we're just both thinking of the Archie comic where it was this weird like rebellion story.
I think that's what they're trying to do here, but like they won,
and
now we rebuild.
Yeah, I guess they're losing again though. I don't know.
Cyclical, Ben. First Robotnik gets into power, then he gets overthrown, and then he comes back.
It's a meditation on the cycles of abuse.
Oh, I thought you were going to say on politics, but
no. If it was a meditation on the cycles of politics, then the what's her name, Amy? The Amy government would become increasingly corrupt, and then people would have to rebel against that.
But Knuckles is the official leader. He just hates rebuilding. He just wants to use his fists to punch things. And Amy is the one who does all of the logistics. She learned that during the war, Ben. How to coordinate moving large quantities of supplies
during
and people.
The war. Come on. Like Super Mario never portrayed itself as Mario like being a feudal lord making war against the King Koopa.
No, that would be Peach. She came in and enslaved a bunch of mushroom people, and then Mario was like her plumber or something.
But you know why it's funny to pretend that's the story? Because it's ridiculous. But then Sonic the Hedgehog just takes it and is like, no.
The fate of Doctor Eggman is
deadly
a collection
serious.
of issues 5 through 8, Ben. It's the next volume. Reading age 9 to 12.
who he is.
Eggman is a person, Ben, with an IQ of over 300, according to some sources.
Okay. Does he get like a Mensa grant for making all the robots?
He puts animals into robots.
This seems like just such a... I don't know.
Oh, and the next volume has Shadow the Hedgehog, Ben.
I don't even know really what... I understand that's the black hedgehog, but I don't know what that... I understand what Sonic is like, what, like red and yellow? What's his color scheme? Or not red, blue. Sonic is like blue and yellow or something, and
blue and tan,
I guess. And then what?
Shadow's black with like red highlights.
Yeah,
and he's the ultimate life form, Ben.
What?
The ultimate life form, Ben.
No.
No. The prototype ultimate life form was a gigantic space lizard, and Shadow is the ultimate life form, and he's got the blood of an alien running through his veins.
Oh God, this is so pathetic. Like,
and his name is Black Doom, Ben. That's all real, Ben. I didn't make any of that up.
I don't know how you condensed all of new metal into a hedgehog. But that's
It's because Sonic was not edgy enough, Ben.
I don't... Is edgy a compliment?
Yes, he was designed to be the cool one.
Is he cool?
Yes.
Do people think that's cool? Like,
do people think
all of
Sonic is cool in the 90s? Yes.
So all of that sounds like...
And then
a Final Fantasy
we advanced
plot.
a decade, and what was cool was now fucking lame. Like,
see, I
it was a pre 9/11 world, Ben.
Isn't this just kind of like the legacy of Sega, though? Isn't this just like Sega, like desperately trend chasing and trying to be cool?
Hey, it succeeded for a brief window of time. For a few years, they had the market share in North America until Nintendo kicked their ass, and then they just kept failing and failing and failing, and then barely survived bankruptcy. So there's that.
But it's so... I don't know. It's like, okay, so in the 90s, they go for that, like, oh, radical, super way past cool. Like, I'm that, I don't know, surfer, bro, whatever that trope was in the 90s, that like Valley Girls and surfer boys. And then in the 2000s, they're like all goth and Final Fantasy. And now they just desperately searching for identity in all the wrong places.
Charmy is in the next volume. The bee. Charmy the bee.
There can't be a bee.
There is a bee.
There's a humanoid bee.
Espio I think he's a chameleon? That can't be right. No, he's a chameleon. He knows he's a ninja chameleon, Ben. He throws shuriken. Oh, who's the other guy? He's a big old alligator.
So this is just for people who are into furries, right?
And scalies, apparently. There's an alligator there, Ben.
Right. But like that.
And wait, what do bees have? I guess there are some furry bees.
Exoskeletons? I don't know.
Exoskellies.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know. This is one where like
Oh my god, Eggman is wearing green overalls. I think he has amnesia. I think that Eggman has amnesia after their last battle.
I don't know anything about Eggman's personality.
He's whatever it needs to be for the story. Sometimes he's a comical, like, mustache twirling villain, and sometimes he kidnaps and tortures Sonic for a year. And is, like, basically robot Hitler. And his grandfather created Shadow Ben. And also a cannon in space designed to kill Black Doom, but then his granddaughter got killed, and so he swore revenge on humans, and he programmed the lizard to merge with the space station and ram it into the planet, extinguishing all life on it. There's also
did that.
Eggman's grandfather,
What was his
who is
name?
in the third movie, actually.
Okay.
Although I bet the lizard is not in the third movie.
I don't know what reality is anymore. Maybe it is. All I can tell you is I am starting to think I was too hard on Nosferatu. I think I forgot that things like this existed in the world when I was like, oh, I don't really like this new Robert Eggers movie. Now I'm just like, oh boy, I'm coming back to you. I'm coming back to you, Robert Eggers. I didn't know what I had. I didn't know what I had until it was gone.
Oh yeah, here it is. It's Vector the alligator. Yeah.
Okay.
He's got those beats by Dre.
So can
your reaction is so perfect. We should have filmed your face for this one.
Yeah, I guess. It's just I don't get it, and I don't want
I got
to
it
get
once,
it.
Ben.
I don't
got it
want
when
to
I was
understand.
a kid, and then I rapidly lost interest as I grew older.
I thought the Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon that I saw when I was a kid, I thought that was fine.
Yeah.
And now I'm looking at this strangely pornographic cover of the Archie comic that you sent me.
It is very strange. Yes.
And I'm just like, what happened here? Like,
I think that the Archie comic, the cartoon based on that, got canceled after 2 or 3 seasons. Robotnik dies, and then his former master that he trapped in the negative zone or something, an evil wizard, comes in, and he was supposed to be the villain.
this is like one of those like Tumblr rabbit holes you guys keep showing me. Like, I'm just like, okay, from my perspective, here's my
Ixis Nagus, Ben. That's his name.
Sure.
Oh my god. I've never seen a picture of him before.
Can I tell you, I'm searching my memory. Am I supposed to be threatened by this alligator? Oh. Am I supposed to be threatened by this bat? Is he a bat?
What is that? I don't know what that is.
I think that's a bat.
I will take your word for it.
Why is his one hand a claw?
Well, a better question, why aren't both of our hands claws?
Maybe that's a better question. So, okay, here's where I'm at right now. Just for anyone who hasn't already shut this off.
Yeah.
When I was a child, there was a Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon. It was about a bunch of little forest animals rebelling against a bunch of robots. And I thought that was neat. And also, my cousin had a Game Gear, which was in color. The battery lasted for like 15 minutes, but it had color. and my Game Boy did not. And I was jealous of that. And I enjoyed playing Sonic the Hedgehog on his Game Gear. That's a lobster.
Those three things merged together, I think, to become that wizard guy. And that's why he has a horn too and a claw.
So when I was playing Sonic the Hedgehog, you were a little blue hedgehog, and you ran across the screen and you collected rings and you spun on stuff, and then you ran into this Eggman character and you hit him 3 times and he went away.
Hit him 8 times. Thank you very much.
Oh, whatever. And you did that until the game was over. And that's what I knew about Sonic the Hedgehog. And now, in the year of our Lord 2025, I've come back to Sonic the Hedgehog. And I feel like I'm looking at, like, to borrow an anime reference, it's like that fridge in Cowboy Bebop that started, like, they left something in it and it grew and it slowly started killing everybody. That's what this is. That's what Sonic the Hedgehog is to me now. It's like, I don't understand how it got all weird and porny. I don't understand all these games. You said there was a werewolf Sonic at some point and all that.
Sonic Unleashed, Ben. I think Sonic Canon just resets every few games, and it's all its own universe, but also they have a lot of like crossover or like they use the same characters and they just keep rearranging them in different orientations.
Well, there are some, obviously there's like Baldur's Gate or something. The story is amazing. But
are you trying to tell me that Sonic the Hedgehog is not an amazing story? You wouldn't.
I don't know where you've been the last like hour and a half.
A first-person Fallout style Sonic the Hedgehog RPG. Where you roam across the wastelands of what used to be the old Eggman Empire.
Isn't the whole point that you're supposed to go fast and like not notice all the stuff?
This will be a brand new experience.
No, I would not.
Are you going to put your points in spin dash or in jumping?
Oh God. Everything you're saying is just like, I thank Christ I don't have to do that.
So yeah, patrons, if you want to make us read the remaining volumes.
No. There's nothing there, guys. We are stretching.
Shadow the Hedgehog, Charmy the Bee, Eggman. They're all showing up in volume 2, Ben.
For the last 20 minutes, for this entire podcast, we have not talked about this comic.
That's not true. You talked about it for like 5 minutes to quickly explain. It's just him going from one settlement to the next, fighting robots and going, well, that's weird. They're a lot more coordinated than they used to be. And then Dr. Claw or whatever is behind his chair going, we'll get him next time.
There's already going to be a bunch of angry Sonic fans.
Yeah.
Yelling at me. I hope they don't find it. I'll try to tank
I'm
the
not
algorithm
I'm not
again.
part of the Sonic was never good crowd. I'm part of the Sonic hasn't been good since Sonic Adventure 2.
I just think
it's been a rough 24 years, Ben.
I think it was built to be like Mario, like shamelessly built to be like Mario.
No, he's the cooler Mario.
Yeah, and that was their whole brand, right? That's what they were going for.
We're going fast with blast processing and chili dogs, Ben. What does Mario have? He eats fungus that he finds on the ground.
And yet, any day of the week, I would rather play Mario.
Oh, yeah.
Any Mario game.
Mario Wonder is amazing.
So, yeah, I don't know what to tell you about that. And Mario managed to make the transition to 3D just fine.
And Sonic took an entire gaming generation to do that.
More than one. If they've achieved it yet.
Hey, Adventure 1 and 2 were all right.
I don't believe you.
Let's treat it, Ben.
If that's what you want to, if that's what you want to do,
you
if
can
Resident
witness
Evil
the
5,
glory of Shadow the Hedgehog, Ultimate Life Form, going up against the government unit Gun.
it's like, I want to say that sounds like a great parody of Final Fantasy, but
Guardian Units of Nations.
I just don't think it's a parody. I think it's a ripoff with a hedgehog, and I don't get it. Do you want to rubric this?
No, I have no idea how I would rubric it, Ben.
Yeah, I didn't. I think I marked it as
I think
red.
I just said there's nothing to really talk about here. I guess I'll just give it an average 3 and move on. There's nothing. What can I say?
I'll give you this is how I'm going to end this podcast. Okay, this podcast was me returning to the Sonic the Hedgehog room, opening the door, and then slowly closing it and backing away.
So
I
you're
don't like
realizing
it.
that not everything was better when you were a kid after all, even though nobody said that on this podcast.
I'll tell you the truth. My most charitable take on all this, it is not for me. It doesn't have to be.
I'm
It
sure a
does.
kid would really get a kick out of this.
I don't know if I'd let my kid play Sonic the Hedgehog. looking at some of these covers. But I certainly wouldn't let my kid talk to Sonic the Hedgehog people online.
No,
But,
for sure. No, absolutely not. No way.
No. But it's not for me. It doesn't have to be for me. You can have your thing. Maybe the movies are good. Maybe I should watch a movie.
There you go, Ben.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll watch all 3 movies. There's your bonus episode.
If that's, I don't know. I mean, people looked like they were having fun.
Again, I'm curious. I actually want to look at the movies. I'm deathly curious.
Why do you want this to work?
I don't know, Ben. I don't know.
I'm ready to write this whole franchise off.
Good call.
I
But
will
first,
say
we have to watch those movies.
The one good call was changing Sonic from that gross thing that was in the trailer.
Oh yeah.
And did you notice
where he had real teeth?
In the movie, he has 2 eyes. I am on to something there. But yeah, well, if we have patrons who like Sonic the Hedgehog, they won't be patrons after this. So I guess I'll thank them while I can. I will thank Jamie the Gravy Man first. Have you seen the Sonic movies?
He has not. I've asked him.
Oh, well, then you should do that and talk about them on If You Want the Gravy, your blog where you review movies and other things, sometimes books. And then we got to thank John Bierce, who has a book coming out. I don't know if he wants me to advertise it on this one, considering it's probably going to be a mostly poorly received episode. But he does have a new book coming out, The City That Would Eat, or I keep messing this up. Is it The City That Would Eat the World, or is it? Yeah, okay. From the series More Gods Than Stars, we have Isekai Sensei Sama of the That Time I Got Reincarnated in the Same World as an Anime Podcast. What's the Japanese Sonic like? What's that lore? Is it significant?
As messy as this one, because they crashed the Japanese, European, and American lores together in like 2000.
That doesn't seem like it would be possible, but okay. And then we have a spooky shy with a Y, over on TikTok, still going strong. They could not kill that app. And Keegan did not give me a project to shout out, so I must simply say hello. And with that, I'm going to get out of here before I get attacked by what I assume is a thriving fan base.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are there a lot of these people?
I guess? I assume so?
I look forward to your letters.
Well, I don't show off, don't criticize. I'm just living by my own feelings. And I won't give in, won't compromise. 'Cause I only have a steadfast heart of gold. I don't know why I can't leave, though it might be tough. But I ain't out of control, just living by my word. Don't ask me why. I don't need a reason. I got my way. My own way. It doesn't matter. Now what happens? I will never give up the fight. Long as the voice inside drives me to run and fight.
It doesn't matter!
Who is wrong and who is right? Well, I don't look back. I don't need to. Time won't wait, and I got so much to do. Where do I stop now? It's all a blur and so unclear. Well, I don't know. But I can't be wrong. Okay? Alright. I don't know why that got me.